as possible, especially if enough people come and ask for it.
Right.
But a lot of it is figuring out how to make sure you do that without invalidating other.
Put together, isn't that great?
So, does anyone have any specific questions about Fantasy Craft? Like, any more things about contents, or just the general stuff, or do you care?
What's sort of
Just here for Spycraft part of it?
What's sort of the gear system? We're still going with the gear system. We get 2 5th picks and a 4th pick, or is it going to be more of a cash-based system?
It's cash-based. It's not exactly catch and carry. Predominantly because we don't have to deal with this problem. We get to work exclusively on its own. There are 2 economies in the game. There's a cash economy, the silver economy. Everything's based on silver pieces. There are other pieces, but everything's based on silver pieces because it's the most universal currency in a fantasy game like that.
Anyway.
And then there's a reputation economy. And the reputation economy will cover things like contacts. Contacts don't go under reputation. They're not something separate in the system.
A little more, for those of you like done Shadowrun and things like that, I think it's a little more, it's a person.
Yeah.
It's not just a floating skill check. It's
Yeah.
more of a thing you latch on.
Someone who comes up, it's a complete person, they help you for a while, and they leave. And the reputation economy will also cover high-end magic items, artifacts, which are magic items that grow with you.
Ranks.
Ranks. Ranks are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got noble ranks, military ranks, and what's the third one? I can't remember. Heroic ranks.
Heroic.
And they'll allow you in each setting to define terms that you're known by. So in some settings, a rank 2 guy in military might be called a knight, but in another one might be called a chancellor or whatever.
In Epic, there'll be a shirt wearer or something
right.
like that. And
they open up different options for things, and they allow for you to be recognized. And there's a whole bunch of different effects that they have in the game. You can buy castles and armies.
Right. Things that are beyond like the cash that any one person will have generally fall into reputation. Priceless artifact, all those other things.
Whereas silver will cover all regular gear plus whatever magic your GM and you, if you're helping to rule the world, decide is appropriate for the setting.
Right.
In some games that are gonzo, you're going to have like insane magic items that are available in local bazaars. That's an option. It's built into the GM chapter that you can do that.
Right. High magic is more his thing, and low magic is more my thing.
Actually, I'm not a big high magic guy. Scott's a big high magic guy.
Okay. Gonzo is his thing.
Gonzo is my thing. No, you want a guy like crawling up the leg of a 10-story giant. That's me. But magic items, I tend to like them a little bit lower than medium.
Okay. Medium low. Yeah.
I like artifacts. Artifacts are awesome, but I like them to come up infrequently and be god powerful.
Right. So magic is not necessary. Well, just as in Spycraft, magic is not necessary to play the game.
No.
Yeah,
It'll assume a medium.
Because I was involved in this project, though.
Absolutely.
I hate on magic sometimes. I mean, seriously, hate on magic. I like having it. I love the fact of it. But I'm a guy that's not a big magic item fetishist, anything else like that. So I certainly like ones where you can have total validity without ever picking up a +1 dagger.
There was talk briefly about the high magic quality from Spellbound being a default for the game, and that you would have to go away from that. And this is actually a good example of how Mastercraft changed things in a lot of ways. So with Mastercraft, with Fantasycraft specifically, we looked at it and said, what's the medium? What's the place where that is closest to the center of what people are going to want? And we decided it's not actually D&D. It's actually probably a little bit lower magic than that. And so we're going to set that up as the default game. And if you want D&D, that's cool. There'll be a way for you to add a little bit more magic into the game. And if you want something that's even more than D&D, you can go way over the top.
Yeah.
And if you want something that's a lot more like Alex's epic setting, where magic is restricted to the bad guys or it's restricted away from everything, then you can go all the way down to none at all. You could just completely eliminate it from the game, and it wouldn't really hurt anything. All you do is turn a part of chapter 4 and all of chapter 3 off, essentially. And one class would be invalidated. Well, two classes would be invalidated. And
well,
maybe
not even all of one.
Yeah.
Like priests, for instance, don't require magic to be playable because they're. I'm really excited about the priests. I love priests.
Go for it.
All right, so yeah, we've done a lot of things. You got your wizards, your fighters, and stuff like that. For your soldiers, we still call them soldiers. But we also have things like priests, which is very.
Fighters in the game. It's an origin.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Scott was very proud of the fact that in Fantasy Craft all the classes from D&D are origins, not classes.
Right. So you can be a bard without sucking. You can
It's
also be a bard.
What it boils down to is that we looked at the classes from D&D and we found, well, they're not really full Spycraft classes. They're not robust enough for it. So we're not going to fill them out. We're going to say, well, what are they? And they fit in origins. So that's how that works.
So in the case of the priest is similar to the point man in that it's a character you build, and you build the most primary choice within a priest is based off the gods that inhabit the setting. So the GM will build gods. You say, oh, our pantheon is 3 gods, our pantheon is 2 gods, or 25 gods. It doesn't make any difference. And then he chooses essentially aspects, which have some relation to domains and things like that, but they're not all spell based. And then those also give him skills, favorite weapons, avatars, all these other things. You can just kind of look around the book. Oh yeah, I want a guy. The example I use a lot is Thor. Thor's really strong. Thor flies around and summons lightning, and that's what he does. And well, he loves war. And so I built Thor with 3 aspects. War, strength, and air. And then I would also probably put on him, well, let's give him some skills. He's kind of a military dude, and he's definitely a beefcake, so let's give him athletics. Let's maybe do tactics, whatever else. He's kind of good with the ladies. He'll have them press. And intimidate, because he does summon thunder and lightning quite a bit. So all those things then just go lay on the priest as class skills. And then as you go up in levels, you can select from different abilities by tiers. If you use back to basics, it works in a similar tier structure. All you have to do is get 1 to get 2 to get 3 to get 4. And as you progress, usually all your powers kind of come up. And so the priests can, do spells if they really are. If you want to have a healer, if you want to do your standard cleric, give him the life aspect and let him run with it. And he'll be doing resurrections once a session, or not once a mission at level 10 or whatever. So anyway, so there's lots and lots of things you can do. So the priests are always different. You don't have to make a non-divine worshiper, acolyte person. You can just choose it by the gods themselves and what the gods give to people, and that's it. So it lets you, as the GM or as the player, if you want to pitch a god and say, doesn't care, let's make up a god. This is what I want to play. Let him do it. So you can get to the business of playing the game,
which is the most important part.
Yes.
In skills, since we're talking about various things that we're excited about, you can actually see skills in the thing that we were passing around.
Let's come back. The other one is.
The other one's out there somewhere. Some of the things that we're really excited about with skills, all of them have one. First of all, there's 20 in the game. There's a flat 20 skills in the game. All of them are. We have not pared them down to only combat skills. In the current climate, I feel that's an important statement.
Thank you.
Yes.
They are just as robust as what you see in Spycraft. However, instead of having 100 checks, we've condensed things down to the checks that are most prevalent, and a lot of the checks that are less prevalent are getting intuitive extension development, which basically means this is obvious how this works. We're not actually going to tell you, or we're going to give you an example of how to do this using other tools. So for instance, if you were to have a